want to get real with you about a topic that's real for me and a lot of people right now. So as the coronavirus has swept through and decimated the economy of not just America but the whole world, the impact it's had on my business as a digital marketing agency has been severely detrimental. In fact, about $400,000 worth of business that was coming in the form of proposals and conversations and things like that, like totally froze and stopped. And I do have a pretty optimistic view on how things are going to go, but in terms of the world economy. But what I wanted to talk about is in those early days, in the first few months really, and even still, the feeling that comes through of desperation. But not a desperation like you don't know what to do, a desperation that comes from you feel like a failure. And how it actually manifests and shows up for me in my relationship to my beloved is that I have less confidence and less certainty in my ability to deliver, to deliver like masculine power, to deliver my truth, to be holding her through her negative emotion. Like what I realized I'd done is tie my self-worth to my bank account statement, to my business progress. I connected directly my purpose and my value to the trajectory of my business. And it's so easy to do when times are good, right? Like money's coming in, you're doing good things, you're getting invoices cashed, you're getting happy customers or clients or whatever business you're in. And we don't realize that it's not true, that there's a sneaky lie thing that's sneaking in here, that we're getting further and further from our truth and further from what it is to really be human and a real person. Because we're thinking that we're only good and we can only express ourselves and we can only be certain and happy as long as things are good, as the numbers are going up. But then an economic downturn comes. The greatest immediate recession in history happens. And we're headed towards a world depression, potentially. And I know I'm not the only one that's starting to feel kicked in the balls by it. Luckily, I'm in digital marketing, and so everybody just, is quarantined at home, and so there's been ways I could pivot my business, but God forbid, like people in event businesses right now, my heart goes out to you, because literally you can't operate. But this is true whether or not it's coronavirus time, or whether you're watching this a year from the time of making this video, that we all naturally sink our value and our self-worth to our paycheck, to our business trajectory, to how well things are going. Or maybe if you're not an entrepreneur, to how well things are going at work. Or maybe if you're just in a parent and a family situation, you sink your self-worth to how well your kid does, what preschool they get into, what college they get into, whether or not they impress you on a sports field. I think the concept is universal. It's not just for entrepreneurs. It's not just for, obviously, digital marketing agencies. This is a truth that we attach our self-worth to anything outside of us. And I think ultimately that's why it happens. It's like, the universe it's almost like a matador with a red thing, like a red flag or whatever they hold up. And it's dangling like this, like life is doing this for us to run towards the red thing because we think that money makes us confident and happy and capable of delivering all of this magic to the world and or whatever the outside thing in our life is. There's a saw going on over there, but I'm just going to keep rolling because this is just trees in front of a house and never mind. Life the matador holds up this thing and we go at getting our kid into the perfect college, or us getting into the perfect college, or us getting the perfect job, or us landing the perfect contract, or whatever. And it's so easy to let that overwhelm our self-love. We begin to love that thing more than we love ourselves. That's what really happens. We begin to love that thing more than we love ourselves. And as soon as we do that, life, being the best mother or parent on the planet, won't let us stop loving ourselves like that. I've never actually thought about this before, but talking through it is really helpful. Life won't let us stop loving ourselves like that. So it has to pull that away to show us that when that falls away, we still are alive. We're still breathing. There's still beautiful nature all around. It's everything is still good. The bees are still pollinating flowers. Your heart is still beating. You're still capable of if you're a woman, a baby in your womb. You don't have to worry about all this stuff. And so if you're in a situation where you're beating yourself up, number one, I want you to know you're not alone. Beating yourself up because some external circumstance didn't happen the way you wanted it to. Maybe it's not business at all or family at all. Maybe you had a relationship that didn't go the way you wanted it to. Maybe she dumped you. Maybe he dumped you. Maybe he or she cheated on you. And you thought that your value was that other person. You thought that your value was that relationship. You thought your value was that status. You thought, if you're honest with yourself, that as long as that exterior thing held, you were safe. You were safe from the mystery, the curiosity, and the challenges of life. I'm here to tell you, none of us are safe from life changing, and that's what makes us invincible to the change, if we accept it. Because life's always just going to do this. It's always going to go doing whatever it feels. And it's our job to rest with courage, confidence, and peace, knowing that no matter what happens, we can handle it. No matter how many times she, has emotional breakdown in front of you, you can stand there and handle it. Or no matter how many times he doesn't do what you expected him to do, or the client doesn't do what you wanted him to do, or your child doesn't do what you wanted him to do, you can handle it. You can always handle everything, my friend. That's really the core of this message, and truth be told, it's a message to me. So thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you soon.